How does the NXS community run itself?
Democratically.
Very democratic.
It's losing a lot of it, though.
We're starting to become autocratic.
Autocratic with yourselves, or
Yeah, probably.
well, like just on a personal kind of level, like who do you feel like responsible to? Is it like yourself and your friends, or your partner, or the whole band, or the record company, or the whole of your audience? Or...
All those people and more. You really do start to get an overwhelming feeling of responsibility after a while. Now we do, but there's certain types of responsibility. Some are a cold, hard, factual one, and some are emotional. To the audience and to friends and all these people that work with us on a creative basis, it's fairly emotional. It's fairly give and take. There's a respect going on. With a record company, I don't know, we own everything, so we don't have people standing around us with the big fat cigars going, hey guys, this better be a hit. We really take all responsibility for whatever we do on a creative level.
I think we all have a fairly, just because we all grew up together, went to school together and that sort of thing, we all have a fairly strong personal responsibility to each other, looking after each other's asses,
Yeah, right.
But
Get some new glasses.
yeah, Michael gives me eye tests and things,
What about with things like girlfriends or wives and the band? Is there much of a conflict between there that you have to kind of work out and deal with?
Hard in a relationship when you spend, I think I spent 6 months. You spend 6 months of the year away from somebody. Keeps it going.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that make it difficult too. I mean, obviously, someone has a girlfriend, it's going to be very difficult if that person doesn't get on with everyone. I mean, it's sort of like you almost have to find a girl that's going to get on with everyone, because otherwise it creates problems,
Terrible.
So do you like my girlfriend?
I just interested in whoever I want. There's no use in there's no use in curbing yourself, in an emotional level. You just end up probably you'd lose your creativity. You'd lose a lot of parts of you.
Do you ever feel like changing people's minds just in the work that you do, or that you feel like you want to, influence people's attitude?
I think we have in Australia. The way we've worked has been very hard, and the way we run ourselves and people around us has been very hard, and we get flack for it. Chris does, our manager, gets flack for it quite a lot because we work on an international basis. We go at the same speed and technique as we would in New York as we do in Sydney, and sometimes that can be a little bit disturbing to people, but it's the way it runs. We believe that Australia is on the map. It's not. We don't. Oh, we're back in Australia now. It's miles. That's a frame of mind. We're just as close. We're only one day away from anywhere in the world. We're there. We don't have the attitude of Australia, that little island down under. It doesn't exist. It's a frame of mind.
Do you think that we're lucky to be living in Australia?
Very much so. It's the luckiest country in the world. And that may sound like a cliche, but it is. It's got the most going for it. People don't really realise it. And we've got to stop it from going down the tubes, even though it's a long way off from doing that. But you feel a lot more patriotic, and as Michael said, you want to come back and get Australia moving and life being it and all that sort of stuff. But it's so much better off than the other country. Like just the fact that people have a lot more room to become people.
The food, everything.
Yeah, right. It's the simple things in Australia that make life of good quality, whereas overseas people have to sort of spend more money on material things. I think so anyway. But I think Australia's in for a big change in the next 10, 15 years. I think we'll come across problems globally that we had never had before. We never thought would ever exist.
And the world is obviously getting closer. I mean, as far as, moving in on Australia's doorstep, it's like obviously as flight gets quicker and things like that. I mean, it's bringing the rest of the world closer to Australia, which I think is going to be an interesting thing. It'll become more cosmopolitan, probably.
A lot less American, a lot more European. I think it's going to start coming to Australia.
I think that'd be a good thing.
Yeah. Yes.
I think any influence is you know, are beneficial really. And as I said, you know, like food, for example, that's the thing that really hit me. I mean, after you tour America for quite a few months, where the food is very, very bland. By the, you know, all you can think about when you eat a meal in America is, gee, I wish I was home eating here, you know, because everything's available. You know, anything you want food-wise, and it's always good and, you know, fresh. And I'm hungry, you can tell.